Hey everybody, it's Brandon, and I've got Old School Essentials, Official Adventure Scenario, Quick Delve Number 1, Milk, by Vasily Kalaman to tell you about. This was really neat pickup. So, Exalted Funeral recently had a sale, and they had a bunch of products that were new, and I saw this familiar design, and I said, oh, what is that? I've not heard of it. And the sale was happening like that day. So it was just something really quick that I had no clue about. And I was like, what is a quick delve? That sounds neat. And so they also had a thing where if you, the first come, first serve, you could get stuff for free. And I actually got this for free. I stayed up till midnight, which was uh, not the norm. And I was able to get it for free. All I had to do was pay for shipping. So I was so pleased to be able to get this to show y'all. I've had it for a couple days now. They rushed it out very quickly. I was very impressed at how fast it got to me. And it is available on their website. I will be spoiling this adventure, and you'll find links down in the description if you want to get it in PDF on ttrpg, or if you want to go get it from their site. They still have some. And I thought that sale was really neat. I thought that was really cool to offer some stuff for free. I got something else for a different game I'll be showing you in the future. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. I had no clue what this was. I had no clue what the adventure was about. I just said, you know what, I'm going to get it. So you can see it's about the same size as their normal type of adventures, but it is obviously stapled. It was about $12, which is a little expensive, I think, but the quality is very, very high in it. Same stuff you'd expect from one of their hardback adventures, much like Holy Mountain Shaker here. Great maps. And it is 16 pages, and it's a small adventure. And let's look at the back of it. Let's not read that just yet. It says, a quick delve adventure designed for 1 to 2 sessions of play, perfect for side quests, one-shots, and conventions. Suitable for 2nd to 4th level characters, ready to play with minimal prep, requires old school essentials. So, neat. I like that. Just a quick adventure, nothing that's going to be too big, and it's not very complicated, and that's one thing I like about it as well. It says, beneath the mountain, a lake of milk hides a delicious secret. Here, merfolk confectioners craft the most exquisite chocolate truffles in existence until production mysteriously halts. Now, shady merchants peddle cheap imitations, claiming they come from the same source, as if. Can characters uncover the truth and confront the wicked chocolatier and her sinister sweets? So we look on the cover, we've got this big chocolate golem here, we've got this cave, we've got some skeletons, and we've got some dwarves. Now, with that background story there, it does seem silly. It seems funny, it seems not very serious, but I think it's really cool, and it's definitely an adventure I would play. You can see they've got the truffles here, and you've got these dwarves with milk. These milk's actually dripping off of these stalactites, because there's a huge, huge cave of milk. And it's kind of a silly adventure, like I said. But I dig it. I think it's neat. I think it has a really cool vibe about it. It's, doesn't take itself very seriously, but it's not super silly. And there is some tweaks that I'm going to tell you that you need to do with this adventure because of what it's about. I came up with something. I said, you know what? Let's expand on this and let y'all know about it and see what you think about it. And maybe you can incorporate that into your game should you play it. Now, one thing I'll say about it, that it's now looking back at it, suitable for 2nd to 4th level characters. I wish this was a 1st level adventure. I wish this was something that you could maybe show younger players, that they would enjoy the chocolate and what's going on in it. And it'd be just a little bit more accessible for new players to play a 1st level character. This is not a problem at all. It's just something I was like, you know what? You could tweak a little bit, maybe calm it down, and play it as your first, exposure to old school essentials. So let's go ahead and take a look in it as we start flipping through the pages here. So the caverns under the mountain, great piece of map right here, great piece of art from Glenn Seal. He always brings it with these old school essentials adventures. Everything is exactly as you need it to be. Locked doors, secret doors. You're going to come into this area here, and then you're going to explore, of course. But there's a little bit more to it than that. So let's go ahead and look through it. So it's going to explain about this mountain, and there's a lake of pure milk. It's inhabited by a tribe of peaceful merfolk. They've got a king and queen. They're aided by dwarf servants. The milk is used to manufacture the most exquisite chocolate truffles in existence. They're so delicious, it says it can soften even the most hardened hearts. People from all over the world visit the lake to buy these irresistible creations. But recently the truffle production has stopped, mysteriously. The dwarves have disappeared, but nearby cities have all these disreputable merchants, and they're selling and hawking these inferior products, and they say that they're from the mountain. Pfft, yeah, right. Unknown to the outside world, the merfolk royal family have been imprisoned by a villainous confectioner, the self-styled chocolatier, in a bid to extract their chocolate-making secrets. Demoralized and frightened, the tribe's other members have scattered to the lake's most remote depths. So that's what's going on. You're going to go in there. There's some hooks here to let you know about it. Every page is utilized extremely well. It says here exactly what it is. Total treasure, approximately 4,500 gold pieces. So I like how, of course, it has that. Every piece of art that I found in this was exactly the way the description was, and it's extremely useful. I didn't feel like they were missing a piece of art from an area that was extremely useful. That all these pieces here of art are needed. They're needed, and they're in the adventure, and you want to show them off as being big things, especially like this piece of art right here. I really dig that. There's nothing that's kind of frivolous when it comes to the art. They're very much zoned in on exactly what they needed to give you the whole feel for the way this looks. So we've got some hooks here. Maybe you're a patron. It says a noble or wealthy chocolate purveyor offers a reward to the party to restore truffle production. Maybe you want to plunder it. Maybe you want to rescue. You found out about the merfolk from another region. They talked to you about it and said, hey, can you look into it? Or you're just curious about it because they're legendary truffles and they are unaware of anything amiss. And then you've got some random happenings that can happen. Some apprentices might attack you. A woman's distant cackling laugh. It's going to be her, the chocolatier. A chocolate golem licking itself clean. I like that. These are chocolate golems here. And maybe your movement stirs up some chocolate dust that might get into your eyes. Skeletons, maybe a little bit of something from the mermaids, some dwarves, some really cool little random happenings right there. Maybe you slip in a pool of chocolate sludge. But great piece of art. We got our front door here, these two chocolate golems, and even down to their description of how they are. Like I said, it's perfect with what it's written in it. There's different factions, obviously. The merfolk, the chocolatier, the apprentices. They're chocolatiers' trainees. They're scheming and greedy. I like how it tells you about that, how they are jealous and competitive. Chocolate golems that you're going to have to fight. They're very formidable foes. Skeletons, they're servants of the chocolatier. They're sentient. They're able to provide entertainment and carry out mundane duties, like these guys right here. Dwarves, the merfolk's workers, after centuries of loyalty, they are now thralls to a powerful control spell cast by the chocolatier. So they are unfortunate kind of slaves to her. And then you've got the chocolate worm, a fudgy monstrosity from the depths of the underworld. It excretes the raw protoplasmic chocolate sludge used in truffle production. I love that. And the section for that thing is fantastic. Relationships about them, of course, in between them, of course. And then our general construction. Reactions by area, such as areas 1 to 5 are open to the trading public, because you can go in there fairly unmolested, it says, and you can be convincing to be like, hey, I'm a business person, I want to buy some of these, and they'll let you into a good bit of it. Going to tell you about the lighting, and then eating chocolate. PCs can eat any of the chocolate objects found throughout the dungeon, but eating the merfolk truffles has a special effect. For all other chocolate eaten, roll on the following table for effect. Now, this chocolate table is pretty good, but most of them actually, are bad things to happen to you. -2 penalty to all rolls with wild hallucinations. This one's pretty good. You get +2 bonus to armor class as your skin crust over into chocolate armor. Your eyes bleed runny chocolate. This is a good one, but it's kind of got a negative. Plus, it's vitality, +1 bonus to attack rolls for 3 turns, but then you get a sugar crash. This one heals you, so that's not bad. 1d2 hit points. This one makes you drowsy. Your tooth falls out and reduces your charisma. You don't want that. A random possession permanently transforms into mundane chocolate. That's not great. Or it could be, who knows. Skin turns into brittle chocolate, suffering +1 damage from attacks for 1 turn. Or it's poisonous, and it can kill you in D6 rounds if you fail your save. So that's all the different chocolate that's around there, but not the truffles. And we'll get to that, and then I'm going to tell you about what I did, and I'm going to show you what I came up with for this, to have even more fun with this adventure. So we've got our stats for our apprentices, our chocolate golems. And you can see it's just kind of big. It's very easy because it's not very many pages, and the adventure is not that intricate. You just need to interact with them if you want to have some sort of guise of buying the chocolate and go in there The dwarves, of course, are orange skin, green hair, and white eyebrows. You know exactly what that is all about. And of course, that's fun. It's having fun with itself. And when you're attacking like the chocolate golems, it's going to be fun to describe how you're chopping off huge chunks of chocolate from their bodies. So there's going to be just a lot of fun stuff like that that's going to happen that you can describe to your players. And the skeletons, they're animated by magic. They're evasive, mirthful. They're often clad in purple monastic robes, so that's neat. And I like this stuff, like usually make no noise. They've got all the stats that you need, especially the chocolate golems. Sharp weapons have a 2 in 6 chance of becoming stuck in them. So that's kind of fun as well. And they have a chocolate sword. It's brittle and crumbles on a natural attack roll of 1 to 3. So it kind of fires back at them with them being made out of chocolate. So this is a great piece of art here. It's got the skeletons. It's got this mermaid right here. Sweet dreams in this big vat. And you're going to start going from the abandoned storefront, which is going to be right here, number 1. And these from 1 to 5 is going to be where you can walk fairly unmolested there, it says. There's going to be some chocolate golems like you saw in the beginning that is going to protect the place. And you're going to start going through. There's going to be this statue hall here is going to have this mermaid statue. Is going to depict the mermaid queen with one hand raised holding a chocolate truffle, and you've got these skeletons that are dancing, playing music. It's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of portcullises that you're going to have to try to open here and there. It kind of separates you from some of the other areas. There's some levers, and then the trading area here. There's some merchants that are in there trying to trade for some of the chocolate as well. This is going to be some interesting areas here that you could possibly do some good role-playing, actual role-playing here. And with it, it's got some stuff that you can actually buy, like 15 boxes of chocolate mermaids, 10 bags of Milky Mountain mini cakes, some fun stuff there to be had. It says especially poor taste. This is some of the other stuff that they're selling and haggling with. And we're going to continue on here. You've got a library. You've got this darker side of chocolate right here, which is this tome. It's going to explain to you about it, that the fact that it's going to kind of give you the whole instructions on how for an arcane spellcaster to make a chocolate golem. So that's neat that you can actually get that ability. You're going to go through the dwarf quarters. There's an interrogation chamber. It's got these 2 merfolk children, and they're splashing around in some rancid smelling milk. And then you're going to talk about, it's going to show you here the merfolk truffles. Now this is where we're going to have some fun. There are some apprentices that are watching over them, and it says, as perfect in their shape as they are exquisite in their taste. They're worth 30 gold pieces each, which is a lot. It heals 1 hit point of damage up to a maximum of 3 hit points per day. Addiction. You become addicted to it if you eat more than 3 truffles in a day. You must make a con check. Failure indicates chronic addiction to chocolate, -2 penalty to attack rolls and saving throws, unless they ingest chocolate daily. The effect can be curbed by remove curse or similar. Now, I think that's neat. I think that's cool, but there's more you can do with it. You've got your players. Why not bring this to the table? Okay. So you've got the other chocolate, which, like I said, most of that's fairly negative. Why not make this even better? So as you can see on the screen right here, I have created, in essence, what you should do with your players to have more fun. Break out a box of Whitman's sampler, a 10 ounce, it's got 22 pieces in it, and have them pick out a piece of chocolate. And when they bite into it at the table, your actual player, let them get that benefit. So you're going to have chocolate around the table. These chocolates are based off what they are. They're going to give you different types of benefits. One, because I hate coconut, I made it to be terrible. And that's just a funny thing for me, of course. So you can give those out, be eating chocolate around the table, and see how much they enjoy actually eating it to get the benefit, which I think heals 1 hit point a day. 1 hit point of damage up to 3. I think it's good, but I don't think it's extremely enticing. I think it's something that the players will be like, oh, okay, well, it's worth 30 gold pieces, so I'm not going to touch it. 1 hit point, no big deal. And then if somebody does and they get addicted, the other players might be like, nah, no thank you, I won't be having any more. Why not make this something that entices them more, much the way that chocolate actually is, and choose from one of the different types? And that's what comes in that type of sampler, that Whitman sampler right there. I kind of broke it down, and you can kind of see a little bit of a thought process behind the peanuts and the caramel and stuff like that. I think that's neat. I think it's funny to break that out in front of your table and have everybody going around eating chocolate and deciding whether or not they want 30 gold or an actual piece of chocolate there at the table. I think it's cool. So see what you think about that. There's a chocolate whale, which I absolutely love. They're getting the chocolate from this chocolate worm. I love this description here. It says, it remains in the pool, attacking random targets, supremely annoyed. I just like supremely annoyed. I think that's funny. It's in the pool. It rears up from the molten depths after 1d4 rounds. That's if you start to do something in here with the chocolate golems, as they attempt to eject the PCs from the room. A lot of times the dwarves just kind of go by their business doing work. But I just love that, supremely annoyed, as you're going to fight this chocolate worm. But of course, it has a excretion here. It projects a stream of scalding chocolate sludge from the worm's behind. It's just incredible. And it suffers double damage from fire-based attacks. So yeah, that excretion does 1d8 damage to you. And then you've got this milk lake, which is really cool. And again, it shows you've got this cool piece of art here. You've got the mermaid king, the merfolk king. He's very angry about what's happened to his kids. He's distraught over the kidnapping of his family. And it's something, another person that you can interact with and do some cool role-playing with. There are some skeletons. They ignore the party unless they're attacked. In combat, of course, they're going to use their buckets as clubs. But one thing is neat is that this milk here is super, super white. It does heal you for 1d6 hit points of damage once per day. You have to save versus spells, or you're immobilized for 2 turns, which is really tough. But this stuff is cold. Ivory white, it says. It loses its magical powers, the milk does, if you remove it from the area. But I just love the fact they tell you that it's dripping from the stalactites, and you can actually see that in the art. It shows you the attention to detail they did between the writing and the art. So very impressive, very cool location here. And then you're going to go to the workshop, the chamber of the merfolk queen, the bed chamber. You're going to do some exploration here. There's not much really story-wise going through this place, because there's not much to it. This lady just came in here, kind of took over, cast a spell on the dwarves, has her skeletons, and has her apprentices, and she's making these chocolate golems, and she's taken over the production. So there is a vault that's got a lot of good stuff in it as well. There are some traps, but not very many. Some of them do kill you straight outright. And then you've got the golem factory, where it's going to be producing these chocolate golems that you're going to have to fight. And of course, you'll have to fight her as well. She has a really neat staff right here. That's pretty cool. But this is a great piece of art, exactly as described. And over a certain amount of rounds, these chocolate golems are going to keep pumping out until you're able to stop this production at this big kind of battle here at the end. You've got her, you've got skeletons, these chocolate golems showing up. There's some levers and stuff. And then you're going to get her scepter of control, the chocolate scepter of control. Very cool. It's encrusted with it's candied cherries, it says. It can cast charm person. It's fragilely constructed. In sunlight, it pretty much is going to smoke, and it's going to melt into nothingness. And it gets pretty much, it says, destroying or removing from the dungeon. The spell over the dwarves is broken, and any skeletons and golems will attempt to flee the cave. And there it is right there. So there it is. I think it's a really neat little adventure. Yes, some people might find it silly. I don't think it is. I actually would go into this very seriously with this adventure. I'd break out those chocolates on the table for your players. Use those, which I'll have those as well. You can either pause on that section where I showed that, or I'll have it down in the description as well, so you can see if you want to copy that or make your own for each of the different types of chocolate. You can also do a thing where you don't tell them what it is after, like once it happens, and they'll just have to find out organically through combat or whatever the effect may be. Or you can just go ahead and tell them, and then they'll eat up the certain type that they know does a cool ability that they like. And if that imbalances a little bit, even though it's 2nd to 4th level, there's a lot of swing there. Who cares? Have fun with this adventure. Eat the chocolates with your players. Make it enticing to them. And it's just something off the top of my head I thought about. It might even be like a missed opportunity with this adventure. They do make it enticing to actually eat some of the other chocolate if you get one of these good effects, but a lot of them are actually pretty bad. And of course, that goes with the fact that they're all cheap knockoffs. So there it is. Quick delves. I hope that they continue to do these. I think that's a fantastic idea from Necrotic Gnome and Exalted Funeral. Please make more of these. That way we don't have to wait always for hardback books or anthologies. And they're small. Sometimes you need a small adventure. and it's just a neat one. It's a fun one. You can have a lot of goofy stuff happening at the table with the chocolate, and maybe you can think of any more things. Maybe when you drink the milk, someone has to actually drink the milk. Get some milk out, and have them do a shot of milk in order to get that healing that the milk can do. But have fun going in here and busting up these skeletons, these chocolate golems, and stopping her madness, and being able to now continue the production of these great chocolate truffles that the merfolk help make. So there it is, and the dwarves, of course. There it is. Milk is very cool, neat title. Very. I'm surprised it's not called chocolate, but it's all well and good. But let me know what you think about those changes to it, and to have fun with your players with it. So there it is, Milk. Thanks.